Hi there, Claire Downham here, your well-being guide with today's step from stress and anxiety to inner peace. And today is the last day of 2020. And I know there are a lot of people celebrating, not just because it's the new year, there'll be a new year tomorrow, but that a lot of people are glad to see the back of this year. It's an interesting concept that there is so much negative energy and anger directed towards a year, which isn't obviously a sentient being and is not able to understand that we're very angry. Some people are very angry with it. But I have just so much gratitude for this year and for the events that have happened throughout this year and the things that I have learned and the places in which I have grown. And that doesn't mean I'm discounting the experience that some people have had during this year, that people have lost people, that people have had a difficult time, whether to do with their jobs or their finances or their businesses or whatever else. There's been an awful lot of things that have been what we might call difficult circumstances. But even that is something that feels less solid to me, because let's take a much lighter example, that when you and I and everybody else listens to a piece of music, and I've actually done this in workshops, you play a piece of music and I ask the people in the comments to write a word that comes to mind in response to that music. And you can guarantee in a room of 30 people, there will be going on for 30 different words associated with that music. Depending on what it is, some music seems to produce more different responses than others. And that just that one thing to me shows that there is a piece of music which is a circumstance, and then there is our experience of that. And our experience of that has to be coming from somewhere other than the music, because if the music was creating our experience in the moment, then we would all say the same word. We would all respond in exactly the same way. So there has to be something else at play in this situation of, there is a circumstance. There have been some events this year. We can call those circumstances. And we have had many, many different experiences of that. And it has definitely been, I've had a lot of one-to-ones in the last few weeks. I've been doing quite a lot of networking, and it's been almost behind closed doors where people have said, oh, yeah, I've really enjoyed this year. Like, it's not okay to say that out loud because other people have had more difficult times. But I think it is okay to say it out loud, and I'm saying it out loud right now for all of you to hear and respond to if you wish. There have been circumstances in my life this year that have been challenging. There's no two ways about it, that would be labelled by society as challenging. You know, that I haven't had an easy year. I've not been just floating around. Well, actually, I have been just floating around despite all that stuff going on. Because at the start of this year, I was very fortunate to come across the understanding that I've been sharing with you much of the back end of the year. And that's just that knowing that the thing that creates that difference of opinion on a piece of music is the same thing that's creating that difference of opinion on 2020. It's our perception. And our perception is created in three ways. It's created via a wonderful combination of the fact that we are alive, we are an aliveness, a part of the aliveness that exists in the world, that connects us to other people and to animals and plants and the planet itself and everything else. That we are conscious, that we experience life in our consciousness, that we can feel and we can experience life, and it's that. And then the third thing is our thinking, our thought in the moment, that brings all of that to life. It's like we've got a filter and we've all got our own glasses on that we're looking at the world through. So there are circumstances and there are things happening in the world. But our relationship with those not only can change between people, but you will have noticed some days this year you've gone, do you know what, it's all right, this, I can kind of get on with it, it's fine, I'm fine. And other days you will have had days when you haven't wanted to get on with it and it's got you back up. And I've had definitely days where I've just thought, this is just all looking a bit silly now. Like, that's been my general response. I don't understand this. I don't understand why these decisions are being made. That's been my but as you've just heard me laugh about it, it's generally been from a place of, well, yeah, well, it's happening anyway. It's all been a circumstance that we've all experienced so uniquely and so differently. And every single one of those experiences is okay. It's who we are. It's a representation of our thinking and how we're doing things inside our mind and how we're creating. We're the creators of that. I guess you'll have been to a movie. Yeah, probably not this year so much, but you'll have been to movies in the past where you have been sat with somebody who is doing something different to you or responding emotionally different to you all the way through the movie. I mean, generally I'm crying. I am a menopausal woman, of course, so I cry. Generally everybody's laughing at me. I don't sure they're laughing at me or laughing at the film, or, you know, whether they're laughing at me crying, but I don't really care. But when you go into a movie, you can hear around you, there are people laughing, people responding differently, some people are not laughing. It's the same with anything visual like that, isn't it? Like comedy. Like, I love Michael McIntyre, he has me in stitches, but I know people who think he's a numpty and they don't like him. Am I allowed to say numpty? I think I am. And I know those examples are just light, trivial examples, but hopefully those lighter, trivial examples help something to settle inside of you that says, actually, Claire's got a point here. There's some truth in what Claire's saying. There is something that makes it all feel a lot lighter. Because what I want for everyone in the world is to see this, like, with a passion, because it's made such a difference to my life and to the people who I've started to work with and help around this understanding. Oh, goodness gracious. And the Tropic mascara is standing up to trial this morning. I want as many people as possible to understand this. Because if you are living in an outside-in understanding, if you really think this circumstance is creating this feeling, that circumstance is creating that feeling, this person is making me feel like this, then I pretty much guarantee the consequences of that are not nice. They are feeling like a victim. They are going up and down and feeling like you are being shoved from pillar to post and back again. And that is not a nice way to live. And it's exhausting if you're trying to hang on to the circumstances and make them be a certain way so you can be okay. That too can be really exhausting. Or if you've gone into that place of going, well, it's definitely my thinking, so I'm going to sort out my thinking and fix it and do lots of things to sort that out. Well, that's exhausting too. This isn't about the content of your thinking. It is not about what's actually going on in there. It's not where it came. It's not about where it came from, something in the past, because of course our perception in the moment is definitely laced with the past. It's about knowing that in any moment, that's where your experience is coming from. And as you begin to notice that happening, and it is just a noticing, it's suddenly realizing in a moment, like in a moment when I've been caught ranting about somebody or something, there's a remembering I'm doing that to myself. And it's not nice. And I don't want to do that anymore, because it's not very good for me and it's not very good self-care. And so as you no doubt reflect today on this year, just realizing that in any moment your thinking can change and things can seem different. You will have experienced that. You will have had that experience where somebody's walking towards you on the street and you think it's your mate and you give them a wave and then you realize it's not. Like, because your thinking created that perception that that was the person you knew. And then there was an insight, oh, that isn't them. Slightly different colour hair, or it's definitely not them. They've turned and their face is definitely not the face I think it's going to be. And maybe that's a way to reflect on 2020, that maybe, well, always there is a chance for our thinking to change. And I think for a lot of us, even if you don't feel good about it right now, there will be a point in the future when you look back and go, do you know what? It wasn't so bad. Actually, a lot of good came out of it that I'm now reaping the rewards of. When I burnt out, that is absolutely what happened. You know, I wouldn't be studying. It was a horrible year, 2050. Much worse than 2020. It was not good for me. I was in a very dark place. But now I'm stood in front of you sharing something I'm passionate about, and that never would have happened without that journey. So enjoy today. Try not to cry like me. Or cry, actually. Cry if you want to. It's fine. Crying's great. It's good for you. Better out than in, we say in Yorkshire. Yeah, enjoy tonight. Whatever you decide to do, I'll no doubt be in bed between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. And then that's pushing it, because I don't really do late. I've been awake since very early this morning, and I'll be in bed early. I can't see the point anymore of staying up till midnight sat with my other half on the sofa. Nobody's watching, we can do what we like. So enjoy this evening, whatever you decide to do, and I will see you again on Monday, because I am going to have tomorrow off, and just chill. So take care, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Claire Downham, your Wellbeing Guide, and this has been today's step from stress and anxiety to inner peace. And if you would like to see more of this, please reach out. Please book in for a consultation. Please discover more, or just message me, because this has changed my life, and it is changing the lives of so many people. Nothing in their external world is changing, of course, but when that perception changes, when we see the source of it, it just changes everything and makes everything a lot lighter. So happy New Year, everyone, and I will see you again in 2021. Thank you. Take care.